What's up everybody? Welcome back to another one of my videos, and in this video we're just going over MyLeague Week 5 matchups and Week 4 results. So we're going to go over the Week 4 results first. So here's a screenshot of what went down last week. My team's on top, so I'm going to talk about that first. My matchup, honestly, it sucked. These postponed games are really hurting me. Not me personally, but everyone. Like it wasn't fun this week. Best has one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. I was really after the draft. This was the one matchup I marked on my schedule. I'm like, I gotta focus on this one. This one's gonna be big, and it just didn't turn out that way. He has players like Kyrie who took a vacation. John Wall missed a couple games. Maybe Curry missed the game. Not 100% sure on that, but he has plenty of guys, which we're gonna look at some point. So we're gonna get into that. I also missed a lot of games. Got a lot of my games postponed. Some notable ones was the Hawks and the Suns, because I have Booker, I have Trey. Um, I missed out on some other people as well, but I'll just get into that later. But basically, if you look and compare best in my stats to the rest of the league, it's not even comparable. I personally just got lucky facing off against best this week because we got the brunt of we both got hit hard with the postponed games, and it kind of just sucks. So like NBA really needs to postpone the season for a couple of weeks, come back, get people players fully healthy, and just overall they really need to do a better job at doing some kind of bubble atmosphere at some point in the season because this is ridiculous. It's really hurting fantasy basketball. Another team that hurt was Team Stewart's, but we'll get to that in a second, and maybe even Adams. But overall, my team won. It was 7-2, best possible outcome as I could not win field goal percentage or turnovers. And up till the final day, we were fighting for rebounds. I picked up Dwight Howard. He picked me up a ton of rebounds in the game, and I just got really lucky on Sunday. I got a lot of good rebounds and a lot of assists as well because that was fairly close. All right, so the next matchup we had is Meta World Peace defeated Team Mark. Just by looking at this, looks like field goal percentage came down to the wire. Jose got a big win on that. Jose looks like he had 3-pointers. Rebounds came down to the wire, so it could have easily gone 5-4 to Mark. Steals were relatively close. Probably came down to the last day, and everything else looks pretty evened out. Like in terms of who was going to win what, it was probably already decided. Everything but free throws and rebounds, which came down to the wire. It could have gone 5-4 Mark, like I just said, easily, or maybe even 5-4 Jose. Jose could have easily lost either one of those categories. Next up is a huge win for Seeper this week as he beat Adam 8-1. Now I did look. Adam didn't miss many games. It didn't look like. It didn't look like his team missed many games. It just looked like he had just a bad luck kind of week. Because Adam is strong in field goal percentage, but Seeper has been killing in that category, and he's got a good free throw percentage team, while Adam has Giannis and Drummond, so it's not going to happen for him. Overall, it looks like rebounds came down to the final day, and blocks came down to the final day as well, and everything else not so much. So Adam just didn't get lucky. He only got the turnovers. Luckily, he didn't get swept, but still 1-8 takes him from the middle of the pack all the way to the bottom. He's pretty sure he has the worst record in the league right now. As I look quickly, yes, he has the worst record in the league. And Seeper is above 500 for the first time this season, so congrats, Seeper. Next up we have is Team Badonkadonk beat Team Stewart. Now, like I said earlier, Team Stewart missed out on some guys playing due to COVID. I know Jason Tatum was the big one. He also has Seth Curry. I don't know personally what kind of postponed games he had. I just can speak to my matchup because that was the one I was focused on. But overall, it looks like free throw percentage could have gone either way, and it looks like it was a pretty boring matchup outside of that. Maybe turnovers as well. So again, Stewart didn't have the best week due to postponed games. It sucks. It happens. I don't think we're gonna change anything. I personally would like to add a couple of bench spots. I hear some leagues are doing that, but honestly, overall, I feel like the NBA really needs to crack down on this, and they need to get more involved, and um, they need to create some kind of environment where they're not postponing this many games, because this it's detrimental. It's just killing fantasy basketball is what I'm trying to get at. And the last matchup we have is All Great Ones versus Von Fleetwood. And I know this matchup came down to turnovers. Rick lost 4-5, but he was up 5-4, and believe it or not, rebounds were close up to a point, and then Jason's team just picked up a ton of rebounds in the second half in the last games, so it kind of blew him out. So Rick was debating on whether or not he should play Paul George. Unfortunately, he didn't, but unfortunately he played Bogdanovic, who had no what's the word I'm looking for? He had no value come Sunday, and we didn't learn that until after the fact because we were talking about it. And Bogdanovic, he dropped 4 turnovers on Sunday's games. Really bad break for Rick. Luckily, it's just 4 or 5 loss. It's not 3-6 loss or 1-8 loss or 2-7. This is the first week. Oh yeah, so we had a little bit of everything this week. So we had a 5-4, a 6-3, a 7-2, and an 8-1. So we had a little bit of everything this week, just no ties. So we got all of that. So here's the current standings on where they stand in the odds division. I managed to take over the top spot for now at a record of 20, 14, and 2. And last week, let's see. So I think Jason and Best are maintaining. Like, I know Best lost 2-7 because he faced me. Jason won 5-4, so he's just kind of keeping pace, staying above 500. Rick is, after having a big week last week, he just lost 4-5, so he's just kind of staying pace right now. Adam lost big time, 1-8 against, I can't remember off the top of my head. Who did he play against? 1-8. Oh, Seeper. Okay, so that's in the other division as well. So, I was the beneficiary for this past week as I won 7-2, and Jason was the only other team that won in my league this past week, 5-4, and Rick lost 4-5, Best lost 2-7, and Adam lost 1-8. So very good for me. In the evens division, Team Stewart was high man. He was, I think, 18-9, and he lost 3-6. So he fell back down to earth a little bit. Still has the best record after 4 weeks. But Jose is only a half game behind him as he picked up a big 6-3 victory. Seeper is right behind both of them after picking up a huge 8-1 victory. Very rare, but very good for him. And then Team Mark, he's struggling right now. He's 500. He's 18-18. The reason I say that is because he has Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and I think he did have a couple of postponements, but he had Thomas Bryant get injured, but luckily he picked up Enes Kanter. But his team's suffering from some tough breaks right now, and it kind of sucks because I do think his team is better than 18-18. And last but not least is Badonkadonk, who, if he was in my division, would be placed in 3rd, but he's not, so he's last in the evens division. All I gotta say about him is I do feel like, for this league in general, I feel like this league needs to start making some trades because it doesn't look like anything's happening. I think in my league, people's view of our league is that it's very even because if you look at the records, but I don't think it's all that even, and I think the better teams are going to start showing that sooner or later. And the reason I say that is because I'm looking at the season stats and I'm just seeing a lot of discrepancies on where teams can get better. Like there's teams that are overstacked in specific categories, and then they really hurt themselves in other categories. So I do feel like I'm just very surprised that no one is trying to make any kinds of trades, and especially with that. And then I know personally, I just know Seeper needs to make a trade because he's going to be overloaded with centers soon. And if he doesn't, he does have to drop a center, which is unfortunate for him. But and they, just saying, like, there's a lot of reasons for a lot of people to make trades. Whether it's Mark's team trying to make a trade because he has both Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, and they're both really good players, but they're both going to be load management. Who wants to have their top two picks with load management? Seeker's team is going to have an abundance of centers. He needs to get rid of one way or another. I know another team, I'm not going to mention which one, it's really good in rebounds and assists, but it sucks in every other category. And it's just like I look at this stuff and I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, how is no one trying to get better? How is no one trying to make any trades? So I do think this league does need to make trades. I think it's now we're a month into the season. We know what teams are, and we know how to how we should know how to make our teams better via trades, what we should be shooting for, and whatnot. And on that point, I know I did talk to a few people, and let's see, I'm gonna go over it. I personally want to trade one of my shooting guards. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to trade one of my shooting guards, and I probably need a big now that I'm thinking about it, but that's just where I am right now. I don't know what I'm trying to do exactly. Let's see. I know Jason has said he is good with his team right now, and I don't know why, because he does need help in a lot of categories. Team Best said he is looking to move Al Horford, Dragic, and there's one more player I can't remember, and he's trying to build his steals up. Rick is he wants to know if anyone's interested in Jimmy Butler to send him some offers because he doesn't really fit. Butler doesn't fit Rick's team's mold, his build. So I have not heard anything back from Adam. Team Stewart said he's down to trade anyone for anything. It just has to be the right deal for him. So if you guys are interested in any of his players, definitely send him some trade offers. Seeper needs to get rid of a center. So guys, whoever needs a center outside of me, send Seeper some offers. And I'm just going to say this now, the longer Seeper waits to trade, the lower the value of the centers are going to get. Right now he could get close to like 90 cents on the dollar. When Cat returns and when he has to drop one, he'll be lucky to get 60 cents on the dollar. And let's see, Team Mark, he said he's good with his team right now, but I don't understand why. And Badonkadonk, I also haven't heard back from. So I haven't heard back from like a good portion of this league, which kind of sucks because I do feel like there are good opportunities to make trades. Anyway, moving on. We're going into the Week 5 matchup. So Skyler versus Jason is the first one up. I am not doing any total playing because we just don't know who's going to get postponed and who's not. When I made this, there was only one postponed game. Now there's 3. So there's no point to it. I'm looking at the team really quick. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know any of these guys missed out on a lot of time last week. I think Ben Simmons did, but I think that was more injury related. Anyway, for the matchup breakdown, Skyler is going to be favored in free throw percentage, threes, blocks, and points. Now, if you look at blocks, Skyler has a lot, and I'm still putting him as the favorite. Oh, and I should because he picked up 2 centers, so he should be a big-time favorite. What was I thinking about? I don't remember just yet. Maybe this. Yeah, maybe field goal percentage is going to be Skyler's favorite as well, but I did put it in can go either way because Skyler got rid of Lillard and Jimmy Butler when he was struggling, and he picked up 2 bigs with high field goal percentage. Anyway, Jason is only favored in rebounds and assists, and let's see, Skyler's favored in free throws, threes, blocks, and points. I don't think I said points before, so I'm going to reiterate. And it can go either way in field goal percentage, even though I do think Skyler is favored in that with his recent trade a couple of weeks ago, steals and turnovers. Now, I'm not going to update the season stats because Again, the postponed games are going to distort the season stats, and I feel like the season stats that I had after 3 weeks are going to be the most viable option to use at this point until we get all these games made up and played. So it's going to be really hard to determine who's good and what going forward. All right, so next up we have is Adam versus Best, and so Adam basically, I'm looking at his team. I can't think of. I think Drummond was out a couple games. Mainly Cleveland missed a couple games. DeAndre Ayton was another one who missed games last week. I know because of the Suns. And off the top of I know Evan Fournier is hurt, and I don't think Adam knows how to use the IR, quite honestly, but he hasn't asked me. So, Adam, if you're watching this, I don't think you will. But if you need help with the IR, just let me know. Rozier, I don't think anyone else missed time last week. But anyway, same thing with Best. Oh, so when Best played me, so Bradley Beal was out all but one game last week. John Wall was out all of last week. Kyrie Irving was out all of last week, but Kyrie took a vacation. Dragic only played one game that I can think of. Mikal Bridges missed a couple games. Horford left for personal reasons. Valanciunas missed one game. Middleton played. I believe he played all of his games. Osman played. Kobe White missed the game, but Levine missed the game, so whatever. And I think that was it. So just right there, that's how bad this has been. When I played Best, he lost Bradley Beal, John Wall, Kyrie Irving right off the top. The three of his four best players, easily. And it really hurt. It really sucked playing last week. Anyway, Adam should be favored in rebounds, steals, blocks, and turnovers this week, while Best should be favored in free throws, threes, assists, and points. And it should go either way in field goal percentage. All right, so for our next team, again, don't know the totals playing. I'm just going to go over the matchup breakdown because I don't think that these two guys missed out on too many players. So Rick should be favored in free throws, three-pointers, and assists, while Mark should be favored in field goals, percentage, rebounds, blocks, and turnovers, and it can go either way in steals and points. Now, that's according to the stats from week 3, but after Rick's trade, I do think Mark is going to be favored in field goal percentage. Now, if you look at the field goal percentage, it's very close, but Rick got rid of both of his centers, and that's going to drive down his field goal percentage as he picked up three guards, mainly Damian Lillard, who's only going to shoot 44% and put up a lot of volume. So I expect that to come down, and that's why I put Mark as the favored player in this matchup. Also, I put him as a favorite in blocks because even though Rick has more blocks, again, he lost out on 2 of his centers, and it was like over 4 blocks a game between both the centers that he is missing out on, which is going to deteriorate him in that category. But he is going to pick up what he's already good in, and he's also going to likely pick up more points, making it more of a favorable matchup. All right, and I believe this is... Okay, so it's matchup number 4, Seeper versus Mike. So Seeper, again, he has Karl Anthony Towns, who caught COVID, unfortunately. So for the time being, he is good. But if you look at his 3 centers, Mitchell Robinson, Rashad Holmes, and Vukovic, he's going to have to either trade Cat or one of those 3. So one of those 4 centers have to go, as we only hold 3 centers in our league. And the sooner Seeper, I don't know, makes something happen, the better. As me personally, I feel like Anthony Edwards is an easy drop, and so is Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio is a definite easy drop as well. Both of them should probably not be on his team, and he should probably be able to pick up 2 better players on the waivers as of right now. That's just my opinion, but maybe they fit his team pretty well. I know Ricky Rubio's he didn't play last night, and I don't think it was because of COVID. I think he didn't get any playing time. And then Anthony Edwards, he's just good for a little bit amount of points and a couple of rebounds. He's not really worth anything right now. As for Mike's team, I'm just looking at it right now, and I can't think of anyone who really sat last week. Maybe Zion sat for a game. But I would expect Mike to be a really good trade partner because he has a lot of strong players that he can move off of. Like McCollum's going on the IR, so can't go with him. But if you look, so Doncic and Fox, they work well together. Embiid's, funny enough, he is the best free throw percent guy on his team outside of McCollum, and he's not the best in it. Like if you look at his free throw percentage, it's only less than 47%, which is like mediocre at best. And I feel like Mike would be a really good team to try and get Joel Embiid off of him, as Embiid doesn't have the best value on his team given the circumstances with the free throw percentage. But Embiid gives in a bunch of different uh, categories, but also I know he's come out strong, but his field goal percentage is usually a bit low for a center as well. But looking at like Doncic, Murray, CJ, and Fox, and even Colin Sexton, that I would label those players as cornerstone. And I would probably try and move on. Oh, and Julius Randle, I didn't see him there. And I would, if I were, if I was like Adam's team, I'd probably try and go after Zion. Or like my team, I might go after Joel Embiid at some point. Anyway, the matchup breakdown, the way it goes is Sieper is favored in assists, steals, and turnovers. Mike is favored in field goal percentage and points, and it could go either way in free throw percentage, threes, rebounds, and blocks. And for the last matchup of the week, it's my team versus Jose's team. And right off the bat, I did count just specifically for my matchup to get an understanding of how it's going to go, and I'm down 5 people just because of how bad this schedule is put together. I don't know who made this week or next week for that matter, because next week is just as bad. I don't know who decided to put all the games on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week, leave Tuesday and Thursday completely wide open, and have a moderate amount of games for the weekend. It makes no sense. They could have easily have dueled out more games on Tuesday and Thursday. Instead, I'm getting screwed in my mind because Jose has a sufficient amount of players going throughout the week because the schedule just works out really well for him. He has players like on the Jazz, he has players on Denver or Oklahoma City, and I forget the last team. But it's just very aggravating. This week, fantasy basketball has been very aggravating. Last week, it looks like it's going to be very aggravating for me personally this week, as the schedule just sucks. And I did see people complaining about the schedule this week too. So hopefully they get their shit together, because it's really going to start pissing people off if they continue to go down this road, especially with the second half of the season not made up yet. So hopefully the NBA gets their shit together. Anyway, let's see. I'm favored in free throw percentage and points. I'll be lucky to win both of those and win just those two, because again, 5 is a lot. But maybe I can do something. My team killed it last night, Monday, so I do have hope for it. But if I lose 2-7, I will not be surprised. Jose should easily win field goal percentage, as my team is the worst at shooting. You guys should see how bad my team is. Anyway, he's also favored in rebounds, as he's very good in rebounds. He should be favored in assists and turnovers. I may be able to go after assists because recently I did pick up, so I have Cole Anthony. You can see him on my team, but I also picked up Derrick Rose. I am very point guard heavy right now. And with that, I may be able to still steal assist off him, but I fully expect to lose right off the bat field goal percentage, rebounds, and turnovers. And it could also go either way in threes, steals, and blocks due to the schedule and how it's made up. I still feel like even though it could go either way, I do favor Jose in those 3 categories, as I favor him overall in this matchup, because he has just starting out the week with 5 extra players because of how shitty they made up the schedule. Literally all my guys are playing on the same day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Alright guys, that's all I got for you in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to more fantasy basketball content all season long, as I will be bringing 2 to 3 videos at least per week. And that's all I have for you. I will see you guys in the next video.